Hi, everybody. This is Joanna. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hi. All of the beautiful councils and the fairies and the angels and all of the Pleiadians and Syrians and Andromedans. Everybody's here. Yay. Thank you, councils and Mother Mary. Thank you, Mother Mary. Today, our beautiful Ascension topic is going to be on three things: empaths, collective clearing, and higher vibrational co-creating. In all of my classes and webinars and private sessions this week, there's been a predominant theme. The challenges that empaths are having in understanding what's theirs, what's not theirs. What do they do when things are coming into their multidimensional fields, and especially as this mass awakening occurs, which is really important to keep in mind that as mass awakenings continue, that means a lot is going to be released from the chakra centers of those that are awakening. Vibrational energies that are in their fields that need to be released as they're accepting and acknowledging who they are as multidimensional beings. Remember, each and every one of us has been through awakening. We understand the awakening process and why we say self-care and getting an idea for what your monthly cycle is all about. When you have your releases, when you have your integrations, when you have your awakenings to new information and new gifts. So it's good to keep track of these cycles. And empaths specifically feel it because we're part of the ones on the planet that are conduits, that are vessels to help clear those energies as the mass awakenings continue. And part of the energies that we've been feeling this week, there's been a predominant theme, which I wanted to bring forward right away, so that all the light workers and all the empaths and all the crystal children, we can begin understanding and just taking a neutral, higher vibrational experience and not get entangled in what we think might be ours and what's not ours. I remember when COVID began and my field started opening up, there was so much that was bombarding my field that I thought it was all, I was, going through those moments. I feel like it was going crazy because I thought they were all mine. And being so hard on myself and so overwhelmed with so much sadness and darkness until I got to understand how to work with my field and why I was being triggered and why my field was moving through the things that it was and sensing the things that it was, because it was a part of the collective clearing that needed to be helped. And we'll give you just a rundown so that you understand. Each soul comes with a soul blueprint on things that they are to transcend and achieve in their own soul's growth based on how they're here to help humanity. And in this soul theme, we awaken within the bodies and the fields that we have as crystals, empaths, hybrid children, crystal children, rainbow children, however we want to define those experiences in empaths, in that we carry a higher vibrational auric field to assist in the clearing of densities and assisting others in reactivating it and recalibrating their own energy fields. And part of that, our soul themes are connected with various collective themes. Each soul is connected to a collective theme, and the collective theme is then connected with the planetary theme. The planetary theme is then connected with the galactic theme, and so on, micro, macro. In these themes, it might be perhaps that, for instance, me, if my gifts are to work with certain collectives, then part of my soul theme in that expansiveness would be to not only claim and own and honor my own inner strength and power for, say, the divine feminine, but to also clear the densities and the mistreatments and the energies at a collective level in that same experience. Because there's always an equal opportunity threading to claim within one's own strength and inner light to the very thing that we're clearing. For example, for the divine feminine to be heard and honored in the strength and the power of who she is as a divine feminine of strength and wisdom and intelligent leadership, she would also have to face the highest and the most deepest, most darkest experiences of misogyny and sadistic energies to do with the degradation of divine feminine, pornography, and all experiences that are degrading of the divine feminine experience. And so to own that equal strength, one would have to understand and clear it as the one and the whole to equal that light. And so those of us that come with themes within the collective to help in certain ways, whether it's leadership, teaching, healing. If you were a healer, for instance, which I'm also an intuitive healer, we would also have to clear themes in the collective of cancer. So then we would have those collective releases of those that worry about cancer, and we would see imprints and visions and things like that to do with cancer. Or we would have those same synchronicities that would awaken and trigger us about cancer. So that we would have the equal opportunity of the density for us to gather that strength and recalibrating it to a higher 5D grid. Does that make sense? And so many of the clients and the people that I've been talking with this week in private healing sessions is their confusion about, well, why am I feeling these densities of, for instance, darker, denser energies about the lack of self and self-acceptance? that everybody is moving through. Every time you get to a new stage, you'll have to go to a new level of self-acceptance and self-love. And in that same acceptance, there will be an equal opposite density to be cleared for you and for the collective, especially empaths, because empaths are always connected at a collective level. And so many of my clients are teachers and healers. So if they're to work with people that are moving through various traumas and challenges, let's just say for abused children, and healing various groups of traumatized adults, many of their energies would be to understand and honor the acceptance of oneself and releasing the collective vibrational energies about suicide and self-harm. So that as they're moving about their day and their minutiae, they would have these thought forms and energies coming from the collective, because as the light is bathed right now, because we're at an equinox, we're being bathed by additional light, which means it's cleansing the density from our grids to be up, to be clear and cleansed. So the collective, because we were responsible for creating those energies, we have to be responsible for clearing them. So those of us that are empaths and have done the clearing, and why some of us were what's called the ground crew, or the first wavers, we've gone through those processes of clearing most of our karma, so that when the collective is now on a mass awakening, we have the potentiality in our wholeness to clear out those collective suicide energies, those collective self-harm energies for the various collectives that we're threaded with to help. And each and every one of us as a soul is also linked to the collective in this way. So in many of my discussions this week, it's been bringing soothing and heart and healing to those that have been going through these dramatic imprints and impressions on their fields and in their bodies, because they're feeling those come up from the astral, they're feeling those come up from the collective grids. And just to recognize it. So you're moving about your day, and all of a sudden you're feeling, you're not in your happiest place, but you're feeling not in your lowest place, but all of a sudden you feel these imprints on your field. And so immediately, I just call up my guides, and I call up the energy from my pillar of light and my soul. Your soul, and I call up my soul. My soul's light is the infinite light from the universe. Your soul's light is here to help you, to align with you, to be your commandmentship of all your epicenter. So call up your soul's light, call up your higher self. You're harmonizing with your higher self and your soul. You've got your epicenter of light triggered on it, so it's all in its process. And you can do this while you're walking. And then you say, okay, teams and guides, where is this imprint coming from? Is this from a chakra release of mine, or is it from the collective? And then your teams will guide you. Your collective needs help clearing this. I'm already clearing. And in this clearing, we require the acknowledgement of it. We acknowledge that this has been a part of our story. We accept this as a part of our story. The acceptance and the allowance of it, I accept that it's been a part of our collective story, but we're going to allow it to become something different now. So we release this into the Holy Creator, into Christ consciousness, to be transmuted, because I'm transmuting this and I'm acknowledging it for our collective story to be transmuted into something new, because we hold the divine feminine in higher regard. We hold divine feminine in higher respect. We hold our collective so that we want to honor and accept ourselves and not create self-harm. And we can lean on each other, and we can reach out to one another. There's much in our communities, and then rebrand those energies into higher vibrational 5D potentiations. And that's what an empath does all day long. Well, those of us that are walking in the knowingness of our vessel, that's what we're aware of that is going on, and why we can sense and feel things from certain people that are walking out of balance, that are walking in different energies of malady, because we're feeling what's going on in the field. And it's coming as prints of energy, prints of sound, prints of knowing, prints of hearing, prints of seeing, depending on what our gifts are. And so as collective empaths, it's important that we talk about this to the children, and we keep them aware that our planet is going through progressive cleansing right now. From now till, my teams told me, said the solstice, it's a progressive cleansing. So don't take these energies on as your own. You can ask as you're feeling it, is this a part of something that I need to clear to a deeper story of who I am? And you'll really connect it, because you'll know that, what you're moving through in your ascension cycle, what you're clearing as a part of your theme, self-acceptance, divine feminine empowerment, what your themes of your soul is. If you're attuning and you're doing your daily self-care and journaling and talking with your teams and your ancestors. And so you get to feel for what's yours and what's not yours, and how to release it really quickly back out into the Christ consciousness that is within you, that you're acknowledging, you're accepting as part of the collective story. This timeline or other timelines, we've all been a part of creating, and we are allowing it to become something greater that is of positive 5D light that we're offering it to the source to do. And so this is really part that's really important, so that you don't take on those monumental energies that really don't feel good at all, that degrade the soul and the spirit, but that you offer it as an acknowledgement and acceptance, allowance as a part of our collective story healing. And then just offer it to be transmuted with Source Creator, so that you're not taking it on in your wholeness body. And just continue to release it until you feel that energy subside. I've acknowledged those energies as a part of our collective story, and as part of the Divine Feminine, I'm standing in my power to give credit and honor and great elegance back to the Divine Feminine for such energies that have caused such density and self-harm and self-hatred to the Divine Feminine experience. And I'm clearing these for our collective, I'm clearing these for our collective. And anywhere that these energies reside within me, I'm also choosing to clear these. I choose to clear these energies as an empath, and I'm being bathed with the Holy Christ energy. I'm being bathed with the Holy Christ energy, that my bodies and mind and spirit and soul are being bathed and cleansed whole, and being bathed and cleansed whole, because I am a creator and I can heal all things that come to me. All that I touch turns to gold. All that I am turns to love. All that I am turns to love. All that I am turns to light. All that I am turns to light. All that I am turns to light. As the empath that I am so grateful to do this service for the highest human experience, for the highest collective, for all collectives within our oneness, for all collectives within our oneness. And I say amen, amen, amen. Thank you, Holy Mother, Father, and the Source Creator. And then what I normally do when I get those collective energies is I just sit with silence and I just listen if there's anything else that's in my field or anything else that I'm aware of that I can clear and cleanse. Normally you'll be triggered through an experience with another, because they're also carrying an energy to heal it at that Divine Feminine level, and then you clear it between the threads, because they're also carrying threads that need to be opened for anything to come through from the grids and from the collective that needs to be acknowledged, accepted, and then allowed into something greater. And those of us that are empaths, this is what we do on a constant basis. And also allow your time, my teams have been saying, give yourself greater time to rest and greater self-care, because our bodies are accelerating. Our fields are accelerating, which means we're going to have to take greater self-care time to ensure that our chakras are cleared and cleansed, that we're releasing anything that comes up as a trigger, not necessarily claiming it as our own density, but that we are a part of the collective healing teams and the ground crews, if you will, that are clearing it for our collective and just allowing it to be swept away, and then bathing it in crystalline Christic light, the highest Christic light with rainbows and colors of love and light, and the divine counsels of love and light to assist you. And then placing them in your hands for the receivership of any new light and any new codes that you so desire, to then replace yourself and replenish yourself in the epicenter of who you are. So that's part of the empaths and the empath's role. And not to remember that when you are moving about, it's really important for those empaths that are awakening to call in, until you're used to working with your fields and your bodies, call in high vibrational filters so you're not taking on the energies of others or the projections of others that are not necessary. And there are those cleansings within our collective that are calling out any of those energies that are not working in the highest divine experience for the collective. And we have the highest capacity to co-create in the highest vibrations right now. And so what you can do after that is, as an empath, is when you feel those activations come in, just give yourself 5 or 10 minutes to clear. And then I also spend another 5 or 10 minutes sending higher vibrational 5D light to that collective for the replacement of that higher code. Does that make sense? Because remember, everything that we release in that infinity, we release the negative and we set up into the positive to that 5D cycle. We choose, after it's been cleared, we choose through the Holy Christ and the highest light program to intend a new infusion of high D 5D light. And I send the highest vibration of respect and honor and grace to that collective. Respect and honor and grace to that collective. Whatever your soul's theme is here to help assist, whether it's the native disenfranchisement, whether it's the children's disenfranchisement, whether it's the age's disenfranchisement, send it that re-encoding of high 5D light. So that whatever is being released and cleared as the empath that you are, you're acknowledging and regrounding into this now new moment. We are the ones creating new earth, and here we go. You're giving it new higher vibrational light codes, and the higher councils will assist you in bathing those codes as well as you're offering it. Because remember, we are creating that 5D code. So we're always transmuting, restructuring, and then sending into our grids that we're stepping on. So we want them to be as high vibrational as possible. They're not going to be high vibrational unless we are creating it. And so just know that as an empath, that's the constant process. And you can even give yourself as an empath, just say, okay, on Wednesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to do collective healing and clearing. So tell your teams that, so that you're not bombarded, 7 days a week. Remember, each person's soul theme will be connectively, equally based with the collective negative so that you have that highest light authority to create the positive within it, and then send that positive encoding to that collective. Whether it's the whales and the cetaceans and the oceans and the forests, whatever you are here, and you'll know by the excitement of your soul's blueprint and theme. And so energies like, self-harm and suicide and addictions, those energies are also here, and they come in. Again, you're going to have to be connected with your teams and intuiting as you're doing your self-care, how these themes are to be cleared by you. Because many of us have had many timelines where suicide was an issue. And this timeline is different though. That's what you always have to remember about those really dense and heavier energies when it's for yourself, is that now timeline is different because you have the strength, you have the wisdom, the intelligence, and the knowledge to transcend those limitations that previous timelines, we didn't know that, and we didn't have that support, and we didn't have that knowledge, and we ended up taking ourselves out before we had the experience of creating all that greatness that we really wanted to explore. And so sometimes we're here to experience those triggers so that we can say, but I know that I can trigger this now, and it's going to be released in a safe and healthy way just by breathing through these dark and dense energies of lack of self and lack of acceptance and lack of belonging, because that's where they come from. And if you are also sensitive and psychic and telepathic, you're also connecting with others that are feeling down on themselves and the collective energies as well. So this is why it's really important to take care of who you are, the multidimensional bodies. Speak with your teams and get in touch with your healing teams on what's yours, what are you doing on a collective level. And then you can see the threading of how it's linked to your unique soul's blueprint, so that you can then rise above and say, that's right, I forgot I do have that power to give that collective really highlight, because I've worked through all those issues. I remember self-love and self-respect and honoring myself and why I had to go through what I went through. And then you come with that great self-clarity and the epicenter of who you are, re-establishing yourself as light, re-establishing yourself with great empowerment and confidence and clarity. And why we've always said from day one that it's such an elegant program, so just honor it and be knowing that there is highest counsels that are working with you in many, many different layers and levels, but know and have confidence in yourself that you are a conduit of great light. You're a vessel of great light, and you can transmute those energies. And remember, acknowledgement, acceptance, and allowance. And that allows it to leave your body. I choose to release this from my systems now, physical, mentally, emotionally, etheric, and I'm bathing myself in light to be replaced by higher light codes. I can do anything. I'm aligned with my highest potential. I'm aligned with my highest light. My chakras are pure and clean. My fields are pure and clean. I love who I am. I know who I am. I'm helping my collective. I'm helping myself. Thank you, Holy Mother, Father. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Source Creator. We are one with our collective. And we're so excited about what we are creating. Higher light fields, self-love and oneness for all. Self-love, respect for all. Self-love, higher vibrations for all. We are healing the all because we can, because we are the vessels of holy light, holy source, holy light, holy source, holy light, holy source. Thank you. And just a few minutes every day, calling in that higher light, calling in those higher understandings of why you feel and sense what you do, why you feel and hear and see what you do, because you're a part of the healing of it. And it's nothing to be afraid of, and it's nothing to get really down in the dumps that, you're different than everybody. There's so many people that are moving through this. So just understand it's a mass awakening, which means that all of those people are releasing those darknesses and those densities in their bodies that they had projections in. Remember, we're all one. So anything that you have put out there is coming back to you. Anything that you have felt in the collective or been a part of in previous collective energies, you got to be a part of being aware of and acknowledging it. Because those negative thought forms come back, and we got to present it and we got to heal it. Whether it was you or somebody else, but those of us that carry those great lights and have those abilities for the themes that we're here to help heal, lead, and care for, and teach within, we have those greater capacities as the forerunners, because we are here to help the collective that is unable to do it, because they're just awakening. So just understand the flow of the ascension and what your role is and how you can step back and be in the world but not of it, and not be succumbed by the densities that you can just simply detach from and allow it its process of transmutation. And detach yourself from it. And then you can tune into, is there any issue about me on self-harm that I need to deal with and look at for someone else? Because remember, sometimes what you're going through is so that you can be of assistance to someone else that might be going through something, but they're not available to talk about it. Because they can't, they just don't have the words. So always tune in, because remember, there is no one blanket statement. Depending on where you are in your path, if you've done the majority of your 51% of your karma clearing, you could be at this end phase now where you're ready to step up into helping and healing others. So just be in connection and communion with your teams on where you're at in your cycle. And the high vibrational creating. And so part of the many phone calls and the classes and the teachings is not only that, yes, there's mass energies that are being bathed by light right now, and there's mass awakenings, it's all their chakras and all of their fields and all of their bodies are being now cleared and cleansed, which means we're going to feel it in the collective. And they come to us in sporadic moments, so be okay with that. Don't freak out. Just sit back and breathe. Okay, teams, can I call you in? Can you please help me and assist me on where that energy is coming from, or what is my role in this? And your teams will tell you, your collective needs help in clearing this. Okay, so I'm going to acknowledge this as part of the collective story. And I'm going to call in my beautiful shield of loving light, the Holy Christ that bathed me, so that I'm not becoming entangled in these vibrational stories. I'm just going to simply clear it. I call in light from the heavens. I call in light from Gaia. And for the benevolence of our collective, I'm calling in the highest light program so that we can acknowledge and accept these energies as a part of our story, and we honor this as a part of our story. But now we choose from a higher state of being to respect and love all beings in all life. That no one body and no one being is any less than another, and we respect all life. And we're transmuting it through the Holy Christ consciousness because we can, because we are. And I release this to the Holy Source Creator to release any and all densities and any and all projections and any all vibrations in our collective and in my bodies and in my fields that need to be released within the same category of understanding for a collective story. The disregard of divine feminine, the disregard of children, the disregard of any life. And I choose to release this and clear this now. Thank you. As my name is, I am. As my name is, I am. As my name is, I am. I am a processor of light. Thank you, Holy Creator. Thank you in the highest light of all creation. Amen, amen, amen. And become efficient with your processing of light. And what your role is, you can stand within it, and you're not going to take on energies that are not yours. You're not going to take on the projections of those throwing negative energies at you. And you're just going to stand in your power. And those energies will go right back to those that are sending them out to you, for them to then think about, why am I creating those thought forms for others? And they have to deal with their own inadequacy of how they feel about themselves, to then rebuild themselves back up. And again, it's really important to remember that we are all energy. And what any one person is putting out comes back. And those of us that are empaths, we've come here with that agreement to take on more than others, because that we have the capacity to do that. And that high vibrational creation is that after you've done that clearing, know that you're here to have fun. And a lot of my clients are saying, okay, now what? I want to have so much fun, but I feel like I'm just like, you feel like you're being dragged into groups and energies that are still going through so much trauma and drama in their awakening. And so there's this big in-between worlds phase right now that everybody is working through, because there's so many new mass awakenings in between worlds, and then those are the forerunners. And everybody is carrying everybody else along. So it's all valid and it's all true and real. So get to know where you're at. And everything is okay in between. Remember, everything is a shade of gray. It's all neutral. And so those of us that have already gone through all of it are now here saying, come on, you can do this now. And now it's time for us to create 5D. Now it's time for us to create 6 and 7D. And so open up to the heavens and call those higher light energies down through your creative angelic team. Because remember, there's angels and your souls and your teams and your guides for all aspects of your evolutionary experience. So then you start dancing and you start playing as that sacred child, because you've balanced your divine mother energy, you've balanced your divine father energy. You're now ready to create as the sacred child. And you call in those sacred loving energies. I want to dance, I want to sing, I want to dance, I want to sing. I'm here to help the trees, I'm here to help the ocean. Let's dance. Through breath, I create. Through breath, I create with the intentions of love and the intentions of play. I am sacred play. I am sacred play. I am that I am. I visualize anew. I visualize anew. I create love. I create love. I create fun and dance and creative joy for all. For all. And then visualize color, music, sound, dance, Gaia, nature, animals. Create new, create new, create new. Those are the highest vibrations that we have. Love, compassion, creativity. Love, compassion, creativity. All is being, all is one, unity, sacredness. We're all dancing, we're having fun, we're helping our planet heal, and create the visualizations and the stimulating stories where you're creating those new codes and bringing it down to earth. You're calling those highlight codes and you're bringing them down to anchor into earth, because we are the bridge to all ascension. Not staying stuck within the cycles of what is. Remember, as Jesus told me, is that when you're perceiving your reality, that's the version of what was. Your reality right now is from you to garner from the heavens and bring it through you. You create heavens through you. You create heavens through you. You create heavens through you. And just allow yourself that affirmation every day. The heavens live through me, here I go. The heavens live through me, here I go. The heavens live through me, here I go. You're constantly grabbing that higher light, that fun, that joy, that excitement. and dancing and having them through you in the ways that you need. And so these are some of the ways that we allow ourselves to balance and honor in the vastness of who we are as multidimensional beings. And know that you're allowing yourself the divine understanding that at any place of wherever you are at your ascension, it's all perfect and it's all real. But just know what to allow as part of your story and what to allow as part of your role as a service provider and a healer. You don't have to take everything on, and allow everybody else their roles, allow everybody else their paths, and just the allowance will allow you to step into your greatest receivership. Not by stifling anyone else's path or by stifling your own, but just by opening and being allowing of the highest potentiation. And then you're allowing whatever densities are needing to be mixed up and released, they will, because your teams will ensure of it. And the higher vibrational co-creating. Higher vibrational co-creating. I can't remember what the other one that we said was. Empaths. Collective clearing. Oh yeah, so the collective clearing. Empaths and the collective clearing are go hand in hand. So just know as you're moving through your personal, this is why it's good to keep a journal and know your ascension cycle. Because then you won't walk around confused and wondering what's going on, and then you spend most of your time in worry when you don't have to. That's what I did. Spend so much time worrying, and then you just end up creating more of those worry cycles. But this is why now that we're awake, we can start teaching this and offering it so that all of those awakening now and all of those that are empaths and all those that are high vibrational kids, they're sensing all of these things and taking it on as their own, really not. They just have vibrational fields that sense and feel it all. So let's clear it. Let's clear it. Let's clear it. You don't have to take it on. You don't have to feel sad and icky about it. Just pull it forward. Don't get attached to it. It's not yours. It's just part of the collective. We're all trying to heal. We're all going through stories at various stages, at various depths and various trigger points. But it's all up for us to send out that positive light. And as often as you can, make choices from your heart so you're not creating more karma. You're just going to clear the karma that your higher self and your soul and your teams trigger for you in your ascension path, because it's all divine timing. And the more commandmentship you have over your allness, living from here, not giving your power away, not giving your control away, standing in your light, standing in your power, you're the commandmentship of your spiritual path, your spiritual bodies, your spiritual allness, then you're standing and you're moving in your path and in your right and in your birthright and in your happiness and in whatever it is that you want to command your bodies and your reality to look like. And you're not being thwarted by anyone else's plan of you and for you. You're standing in the power of who you are as consciousness of you. Your consciousness is so powerful to create your reality. And don't get called in and baked in realities that don't serve anymore, because those realities are being shaken up and being released. And that's why it's all coming up between lots of cleansing and bathing right now. So just accept it and release it. Just to choose that attunement. I vibrationally and consciously choose to transmute this to something new and beautiful. And I'm surrendering this to the Christ consciousness, the source creator of the infinite, all that is light. And just release it. Give it your permission. Or release it. Give yourself permission to feel what you need to feel. Because some of those triggers come to you because you need to release also something within you for your own healing. Sadness for the divine feminine, sadness for the earth, sadness for the oceans, whatever it might be. And so allow those emotions to be a part of your story. And just be okay to feel it. I'm giving honor to our oceans that have provided us with so much. We thank you so much, Gaia. And that includes your oneness with it. Remember, it's always the infinity. Whatever we're releasing, we're creating that new oneness. And I choose to be one with this beautiful ocean and the forest and all the food that we're being blessed and gifted by the Holy Creator, and our oneness with all life. And that's how you create that beautiful higher respect for yourself. Because when you have higher respect for you, you're changing all of the vibrations of all that was for eons. It was acceptable energies to have such abuses and disregard and damage to life. And when you're creating, you're sealing the sacredness and the oneness with source creator that just transmute everything, because it's so unconditional, so gentle and so loving and always unconditional. You just feel that unconditional love as well, and you just start bathing all creation in this unconditional loving experience. And you start having great honor and respect and love for your body. And that's the shift that goes on in all people's awakening, because that's what awakening is all about, is returning to the remembrance of who you are as sacred. And when you're sacred, you just choose differently because you understand how it affects the all. And that's okay. It's a part of our journey. It's a part of our story. So just understanding and having really great appreciation, celebration for who you are as a light worker and a healer, and how you're aware of all these things going on in our collective. And it's okay to let go of the emotions and the feelings that come up when you sense and feel it, and just spend 5 or 10, 15 minutes, 3 times a day, you know, to be releasing anything that's coming up for you, especially if you're just newly awakened. Because especially at times of great celestial alignments, Lion's Gates, full moons, new moons, those times are the big, you know, times where people go through a lot of release. And so don't go out and party when you're at a release. You know, your bodies need silence and temperament with nature and Gaia, and your bodies need to know that you have your own back. Your epicenter wants you to know, and all that it is wants you to know, and it knows by you that you have its back, that I will clear and cleanse my field. I do care about who I am. I care about the health of my cells. I care about my organs and my cells and my body and all that I am to be vibrant with light and life. I want to feel like who I am, and I want to reach out for those higher codes, and I want to dance, and I want to help people feel it's okay to be happy. And part of my experiences read about the high vibrational co-creating. I was promising myself to do 2 or 3 things, stepping outside my box and being happy and playful and fanciful, and which I was teaching to others that were going through similar experiences as well. And, you know, when I was in Starbucks, and this a really great song came on from the 80s that I just used to love. And I started dancing to it. And of course we had our masks on, and there was a fellow on the other side of the store waiting for his coffee. And he was looking at me dance, and then he started dancing. And we both started singing the song. We were like just saying hi and connecting and waving. And the client that I was talking with was also experiencing those same, you know, challenges about how to reach out and just be happy, because there was so much unhappiness that she saw, but she knew inside of her there was so much happiness, but she didn't feel confident about being so different. And I said, well, you're meant to be different, because you're showing them that it's okay to step out of them, you know, being in those energies of dim and not fitting in. And somebody's got to break through. Somebody's got to be the one that everybody points at and says, hey, let's look at them dance. And they make jokes of it for a little bit, and then they start dancing too. And that's what creates your reality. And then instead of being dim and nobody caring and being shut off, you're actually having fun, and a lot of fun, and calling people in with you. And that just takes time, because we're moving away from what doesn't work, and we're moving into who we truly are. And so be okay to bit by bit step out of your box. Bit by bit say hi to people. Bit by bit just dance and skip. Bit by bit just be more with nature and sing with them and talk with nature. Be okay to stretch out of your comfort zone. Be okay to stretch out and just be who you are, fanciful and free, because you're showing others it's okay. And then another one where I went for a walk, and I was dancing, and I was singing, I was doing my light language with my songs and my headphones on. And there was a construction guy that was across the street, and, you know, he was watching me and laughing, and he was just dancing. He was like shaking his head like, yeah, you know, he's watching me have fun with music. And it's just like, it's okay. People seek that. People seek the happiness. And you know that those people that will connect with you and seek the happiness, that they're in that same vibe too. So be okay, because you're needed. Your joy and your fancifulness and your wonderment is really needed, because it helps others feel okay to go through what they're going through. And then they get to step up in their happiness game. They get to step up in their fanciful game, and they start to show others that it's okay to step outside of the box and get out of the doldrums. It's okay. We're meant to be happy and joyful children, and we're meant to. And it's okay that you're there too, because we have to be here to be able to go here. It's all required, and it's all a part of the journey. And where are you in it? It's all valid, because here needs here, and here needs here, because it's transmutation. That's alchemy. You cannot have one without the other. It's all a part of the puzzle. But what we each remember is that, what's my comfort level, and how do I want to be happy today? How do I want to co-create? How do I want to express, explore, and experience myself as source? And I get to be gorgeous me, because I can. And I get to choose that for me. And it's okay if others don't, that's okay too. But I get to be happy being me. And I choose to be happy, because that's my vibration. That's where I manifest from. Because I want to call happiness in. I've had enough years of doldrums and manifesting doldrums. It's done now. That story is done. I can observe it in the world of it, and I can bless it light as a part of the whole story. But I choose happiness now. I choose happiness. I choose happiness, because I'm one of the ones that's breaking through to show others how to be happy too, how to talk with nature, how to sing to the heavens, how to call in higher light codes, how to manifest a higher vibrational reality, how to manifest happier skin, how to manifest healthier bodies, how to call up and release those energies of self-harm, how to be a part of the collective healing, how to be a part of owning your own epicenter of light and standing in your power to know yeah, I'm a part of this clearing, and I get to say that in this lifetime, I was a part of bringing higher vibrational wisdom for the divine feminine, or for the children, or for the oceans, or for our water programs. You know, there's so much our planet, and each and every one of us are here to help and assist with, and we can be happy and joyful doing it. So we wanted to thank you, dear little ones. For those that want to donate, the link is down below, and we love you, and we love you so much. We rainbow you. Yay, bye.